Thank goodness, folks. I am so happy. The fight that we've all been waiting for has been made. This was mentioned about a month and a half ago. Ali Abdelaziz came out saying Holloway versus Gaethje next for the BMF belt, and it's finally been announced for UFC 300. There was some speculation that Max Holloway actually wasn't going to be on 300, but I'm very happy he is against Justin Gaethje. Now, this is the main event. You can't have any other fight but this fight, the main event. Both guys deliver every single time they fight. And this could be the perfect main event for UFC 300. And Max Holloway deserves it. Gaethje, I don't really like Justin Gaethje as a person. Love him as a fighter though, and I think he most likely deserves it. The exciting fights he puts on. Fantastic fight. We know neither of them are going to shoot. And if anybody's going to shoot, I think it would be Justin Gaethje towards the end of the fight. If Max Holloway can do what he does. But I'm very on the fence with this one. I mean, I'm kind of 60-40 to Justin Gaethje, 70-30 to Justin Gaethje. Holloway does get hit. Holloway does get hit, guys. He does get hit hard. He does get hit often. He's there to be hit. But his volume and him hitting you 2, 3, 4 times when you only hit him twice. Do you know what I mean? That's the sort of Holloway rhythm we've seen against Arnold Allen. Arnold Allen would burst in, but 1-2, left hook, right hand, would catch Holloway clean. They'd wait in the middle of the cage a few minutes, and 5 seconds later, Holloway would go 1-1-2, left hook, right body kick. You know what I mean? It's 4-5 back. He kind of just got away with significant strikes in that fight. We've seen him against Calvin Kattar. We've seen him against all these phenomenal athletes. And my mind is saying Justin Gaethje, but I know closer to the time I'll end up choosing Holloway just because Max Holloway's my guy. He always has been, and I really enjoy how Holloway has a sort of like NBA approach towards fighting, and he wants to win every single game, but if he doesn't win that game, no problem, we'll fight again, he'll just get back. There's something about Justin Gaethje as well, right? We've seen him get hurt, we've seen him get dropped by Oliveira, but Oliveira's a massive man. Oliveira's put on a lot of muscle lately. I think Gaethje is going to chop up the legs of Holloway. I think he's going to sit on shots and lunge in and do 1-1-2, and Holloway's always there to be caught. I mean, he might get out of the way of the jab, but then the right hand always catches him top of the head. We've seen him be outboxed by someone like Volkanovski. Yair Rodriguez had a really good fight against Holloway. However, I'm going to say this. Justin Gaethje is a lot more patient now, okay? And I know people are going to be saying, oh, that's the better Gaethje, and it 100% is. Gaethje has looked much better recently. Much better fighter recently, guys. However, folks, I think Gaethje being a bit more patient in this fight will be his downfall. I think if Holloway can just maybe start landing a right hand to the chin, and Holloway will be a bit bigger as well. When he fought for Poirier, Dustin, he just looked like he had a bit more of a belly. He didn't have a lightweight frame. He didn't have a bit more muscle. I think hopefully this time he'll have a bit more of a frame, a bit maybe more steam behind the punches. Hopefully he won't get tired though. Obviously when you build new muscle, it takes a lot longer for that to, obviously to condition itself. It's just a fact. I'm hoping Holloway will just sneak a few right hands in there, and Gaethje's going to hit him hard. We'll know how this fight's going to go within the first 2 rounds. If Gaethje starts slowing down towards the second, I'd happily have Holloway taking a split decision or something like that. And this is the thing, guys. This is what UFC 300 needed. And the fact that it's for the BMF belt, I would love to see Holloway get the BMF belt. And I think it's a very, very good excuse for them to have it as the main event. The BMF belt on the line, the main event, 5 rounds. They'll get pay-per-view points. It's a really good fight, and I want to say this about Max Holloway. His recent performances have been really good, but when you come up against someone who cuts down, so let's say Arnold Allen walks around 170, 165, 170, he cuts down to 145, right? He cuts about 10 kilos, 11 kilos per camp, no problem. Gaethje walks around maybe like 185, 190, and then he cuts to 55. That's the difference here. There's going to be a significant size difference. Holloway's a big guy. He's got a really big head, and I think that's one of the reasons he can take shots so well. It's a bit like myself. Got a big lump of a head on top of a little neck. It's just like one of those things. I've got a long, lanky neck, but I've got a big fucking head for my weight, and I think Holloway's going to get it done. I can't believe I just said that. No one's gonna agree with me on that, and I know that no one's gonna agree. But I can see Holloway doing it, but I can also see Gaethje doing it. Gaethje has more ways to win with the leg kicks and the big power shots, left hook, right hook. Like he's just an absolute beast. However, and it's Gaethje's fight because Gaethje wants it on the feet. Gaethje doesn't want to have the threat of a takedown. It makes Gaethje more dangerous. And I can see them in the pocket, both swinging, and Gaethje catching Max going down. It's gonna be a tough fight. I don't know who to pick, guys. I'm stuck with this one because my mind's telling me Gaethje, but my heart wants Holloway to win, and I've got to be honest. I think Justin Gaethje. Thinking about it now, I have to go with Justin Gaethje. Fuck. You know what? Closer to the time, I'll probably give you a different prediction, and I know I'm gonna have to sit down and think about how Max Holloway needs to approach this. Because, I mean, I know his coaches will have something up their sleeve. I think teeps to the body for Holloway will be massive. Keep him away from you. Jab him to fuck. Jab him. If you let Gaethje get into a rhythm, he's like a snowball. He'll slowly start finding those angles and catching you. Jab him, and then stop jabbing him. Mess up his rhythm. Uppercut, left hook. Get out the way. Holloway will need to be on his bike this fight. Because if you sit on shots and trade with Gaethje, that's not a good idea. However, we have seen Gaethje be hurt regardless of whatever. I mean, Chandler hurt him, Oliveira dropped him, Poirier we've seen finished him, Eddie Alvarez finished him in the past, but it only seems to be Gaethje gets hurt when he's breathing a bit heavier. Obviously, bar the Oliveira fight. And yeah, look, I mean, if Max Holloway goes out there and beats Justin Gaethje on the feet. Guys, this is what the big on the feet. Max Holloway is an absolute mega star. Like, Holloway's fantastic already, and this is such a fun, great fight, and everyone will love this fight. But it's such a massive task for Holloway that we can't really put it on his shoulders to go out there and beat him. Personally, I'd love to see it happen. I am not the biggest Justin Gaethje fan. I don't really like Justin Gaethje, if I'm being 100% honest with you. However, he's phenomenal. He's so good. He gets hit and he can take it. But he was getting caught by Poirier, though. That's the thing. In the Poirier's second fight, Poirier was landing really good shots against him. I'd probably give Poirier the first round. But UFC 300 has come together. It's the main event, 100%. I don't see them putting Pereira, Jamal Hill above it. I also don't see that being in April. However, if they want 4 title fights on the main card, then no problem. That's absolutely fine by me. But have Holloway Gaethje as the main event because it's a fun, exciting fight no matter what. They're not patient. They don't wait. It's big force shots, big everything into their punches. I have a feeling Jamal Hill, Alex Pereira could be a boring fight till it's great. And I think that's what a lot of people get into. Like, for example, Izzy versus Costa was a terrible fight until Izzy finished it. Do you know what I mean? It's like it's boring until it's great. And I feel like Pereira and Yuri was kind of similar. And I feel like Holloway versus Gaethje is guaranteed fireworks, a perfect main event for UFC 300. Fair fucks to Dana White. Fair play to the UFC. They've done a very, very good job with this. And I've got Max Holloway probably losing a decision. I'd say decision. He's very good at getting on his bike, and he will. But the issue with Holloway is when he's. But it's not really an issue. When he's 4 rounds down, he's gonna come at you in the 5th round, like he did against Volkanovski, and get clipped even more and just get held at bay. However, I also think, I don't care what you say, Justin Gaethje is patient now, yeah, but his boxing is not slick. He doesn't have slick boxing. He gets sloppy. He gets wild. He's got power in the shots. He's got big hands. He's got a big tough body. Teeps to the body, jabs 1-2, basic stuff against Gaethje. Try break through his guard. That's all you can do. Justin Gaethje, I think, has got it in the bag. However, I know Max Holloway can pull it out the bag. We just need to see him have a good night. Maybe it's time for Holloway to step up to the lightweight, and maybe we'll see the best Max Holloway we've ever seen. He's in his prime. He's 32. Gaethje's a wee bit older, 34. This is a great fight. And Gaethje and Holloway have both taken so much damage in their career, but Max Holloway just is, wow. I don't know how Max Holloway's chin is held up this long. I think we can't now be saying, oh yeah, his chin's going to break, because every single time we've said his chin's going to break, he's just went out there and taken 100,000 punches and been absolutely no problem with it. He does get hit often, though. We've seen Arnold Allen hit him. We've seen the Korean Zombie hit him. We've seen Volkanovski dominate him. Come on, Jerome. Please, Jerome. That's Max Holloway's real name, by the way. Come on, Jerome. Jerome Max Holloway. Look. I've got Gaethje getting it done. Perfect main event for UFC 300. Thank you for fixing this fight. Thank you for pulling it out of the bag. I appreciate you, UFC. You're making the card a bit more bearable. The amount of hate I got for saying the card was awful was mental. And then after that, Cody Garbrandt versus Davison Figueiredo gets announced. After that, Holloway Gaethje gets announced. Jim Miller, Bobby Green. And then I'm sat there like, okay. Like, thanks very much, guys, for just putting my prediction in the mud. Gaethje Holloway is safe for the card, and Garbrandt Figueiredo is a phenomenal fight. Jim Miller versus Bobby Green is an unusual one, I must admit. It's a really unusual one, but it's a fun fight that could end up in a finish. Do you know what I mean? And obviously they've made that fight quick. They obviously want Bobby Green on that card. You know what I'd love? I'd love to see Paul Felder versus Dan Hooker. Or I'd love to see Paddy Pimblett on the card against Dan Hooker, Paul Felder, Dan Hooker 2, something fun like that. Fun, great, good fights. And yeah, thanks for watching, folks. Let me know what you guys think. I've kind of rambled on there all video. I really apologize about that. I hope you guys somewhat like the new setup. Obviously, we're going to be improving the setup as we go along with the channel. But I will see you guys all in the next video. Thank you very much, folks. Appreciate yous. Goodbye.